Business and Leisure, your weekly window to the world of business and guide to the good life. Hosted by Mr. Ray Butch Gamboa.
This is Ray Butch Gamboa for Business and Leisure, the weekly business and lifestyle TV and online magazine that centers on the latest significant business developments and lifestyle trends. Joining me this week as our co-host, please welcome our sunshine girl, Day Munsayak, with the latest trends in leisure. Day?
Thanks, Butch. So happy to see you again. And of course, to all of you, our loyal viewers of Business and Leisure. It is another week of exciting and entertaining edition of our show, and we've got only the best for you. We start with the latest happenings in the metro, that is followed by our popular segment Places, and finally is our regular treat for all the farm enthusiasts out there. Well, I am sure you're all eager to know more of all that, but wait until we finish some business talk first with our main man, Mr. Ray Butch Gamboa. Butch?
Thanks, Day. We'll see you back in a short while. This is Business and Leisure, your window to the world of business and guide to the good life.
Introducing the all-new Mitsubishi Xpander.
See the horizon as a starting point. Use each obstacle to gain momentum. Make the unknown routine. Continue where all others stop. New Peugeot SUV range. Never have SUVs gone so far.
I'm gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too.
So, why are you back?
I didn't want to miss you.
Welcome back to Business and Leisure. We now have some of the latest significant business developments on BizWatch, our business section. For our lead issue this week, the Philippines can be a major supplier of fish globally. But did you know that we are losing 40% of our harvest before it even reaches the market? Our business reporter Heidi Santos has the story.
The Philippines can be a major fish-producing country, but Agriculture Secretary Emmanuel Piñol laments the fact that we are not realizing our potential as a major supplier of fish. According to the Agriculture Secretary, we are losing 40% of our fish harvest even before they reach the market.
Secretary Manny Piñol said that we lack cold storage facilities, ice plants, and other post-harvest facilities to bring the fish to the market. Because of this, we are losing almost half of our fish harvest annually. More of the story from our business reporter.
The Department of Agriculture is now proposing a 123.7 billion pesos budget for 2019 to prioritize the department's fisheries programs. This figure is more than twice its 60.60 billion pesos budget for 2018. According to the Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA, our fish production decreased by 3.03%. This means our fish production decreased by about 1 million metric tons during the first quarter of 2018 alone. From this same data, it was revealed that this fisheries subsector declined by 4.61% and only contributed 13.36% to the total agricultural output. Compared to 2016, fisheries also declined by 4.61%. Secretary Piñol said that this was due to the lack of ice making and cold storage facilities as well as transport facilities.
Because the Department of Agriculture is committed to making the Philippines a major supplier of fish, the Agriculture Secretary wants to build more cold storage facilities. The department is looking to extend its loan program to the aquaculture and mariculture sectors to achieve this. Meanwhile, the current administration seems bent on improving and rehabilitating the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. There is a group of 7 conglomerates that have signified its intention to do this. We may see soon enough if the government will give them the go signal. Here's our BizWatch correspondent Andre Ko with the details.
The NAIA Consortium submitted a revised offer to upgrade NAIA at a cost of approximately 106 billion pesos and concession for 15 years. Transportation Secretary Art Togade was quoted as saying that the government will decide within 2 weeks if it is willing to give the consortium original proponent status to the 7 conglomerates.
The 7 conglomerates are Aboitiz Infracapital Incorporated, AC Infrastructure Holdings Corporation, Alliance Global Group Incorporated, Philinvest Development Corporation, Asia's Emerging Dragon Corporation, JG Summit Holdings Incorporated, and Metro Pacific Investments Corporation. The 15-year concession was recently revised from the original 35. More details from our BizWatch correspondent.
The original proposal of the conglomerate was for a 35-year concession to rehabilitate NAIA at a cost of 350 billion pesos. The rehabilitation would be undertaken in 2 phases. Phase 1 of which would involve improvements and expansion of the terminals in order to hike its annual capacity to 65 million passengers. Phase 2 covered additional runway, taxiways, passenger terminals, and support infrastructure. The Transport Secretary said that the proposed 35-year concession period was too long. Secretary Togade said that NAIA is seen to be viable for only 10 more years with the expected technological advancements and further congestion at the main gateway.
With this revised offer to upgrade NAIA from the consortium, the government is expected to reconsider its earlier position and decide on the new offer in 2 weeks. BizWatch now takes a short break. We'll be back with more of the latest significant business developments in a short while.
Motoring Today is now on the web. Watch this episode or other past episodes of the country's longest running motoring program any time of the day by logging on to our website, motoringtoday.ph. Motoring Today is now online, just a click away.
See the horizon as a starting point. Use each obstacle to gain momentum. Make the unknown routine. Continue where all others stop. New Peugeot SUV range. Never have SUVs gone so far.
Introducing the all-new Mitsubishi Expander.
Welcome back to BizWatch as we continue with more interesting business issues for you. With the increased taxes on sweetened beverages because of trade, sales of soft drinks and other sweet beverages are expected to decline significantly because of increased prices. Now, Coca-Cola Philippines is complaining that our sugar farmers are not selling enough sugar to the beverage company. Heidi Santos has the story.
Previously, Coca-Cola FEMSA Philippines was importing high fructose corn syrup for their soft drinks. Sugar stakeholders complained about this because it affected their sales, so Coke agreed to abandon the importation of high fructose corn syrup. Instead, the company committed to buy sugar from our local farmers. The present situation now has Coca-Cola Philippines in a bind.
Because sugar prices in the mill gate have improved, our local sugar farmers are now holding on to their produce because of speculations that sugar prices will shoot up. According to Coca-Cola Philippines, the sugar stakeholders are not releasing their committed volume to the beverage company. More of the story with our BizWatch correspondent.
Socio-Economic Planning Secretary Ernesto Pernia, whose attention was called by the beverage company, verified with Agriculture Secretary Manny Piñol if there is a shortage of sugar. The Agriculture Secretary said that there was none and promised Coca-Cola Philippines to take up the issue with the sugar farmers who have a commitment to sell the produce to the company. Secretary Piñol called this a case of opportunism by the sugar industry. For its part, the Sugar Regulatory Administration said that Philippine sugar production is adequate and the industry can meet domestic demand as well as its U.S. quota. Its target is 2.27 million metric tons despite the lower output this year.
As of this month, local raw sugar production declined by 11% compared to the same period last year. And now for our fourth and final business issue for this week. The Philippines is still the world's top coconut exporter. But why is it that our coconut industry is still lagging behind India and Indonesia? Andre Ko has the details.
The coconut is still our biggest agricultural export. From data provided by the Philippine Statistics Authority for 2016, there are some 3.6 million hectares of land planted to about 338.7 million fruit-bearing coconut trees. This accounts for 26% of our total agricultural land in the Philippines.
The average coconut yield of each tree is 4,000 coconuts per hectare per year. However, India has an average of 10,000 coconuts per hectare per year. Aside from increasing our yield, the United Coconut Association of the Philippines, through its chairman Dean Lau Jr., is urging the industry to look into the potentials of our coconut oil. The rest of the details from our business reporter.
According to the Coconut Association, the Philippines may reach its maximum potential when it comes to coconut oil production and value adding. According to Lau, coconut oil can be used to produce countless products from cooking oil to food ingredients, medicines, and natural consumer goods like soaps and detergents. The Philippine Coconut Authority has also requested the National Biofuels Board to raise cocoa biodiesel and automotive diesel from the current 2% to 5% to boost the price of coconut oil.
Increasing the cocoa diesel blend in automotive diesel will not only benefit our coconut farmers, it could also mean less dependence on imported oil and less foreign exchange. And on that note, we end this week's BizWatch. We hope you will join us again next week for more relevant and informative business issues. Business and Leisure continues after another short break with an interesting feature on Strictly Business. Please stay with us.
Introducing the all-new Mitsubishi Expander.
See the horizon as a starting point. Use each obstacle to gain momentum. Make the unknown routine. Continue where all others stop. New Peugeot SUV range. Never have SUVs gone so far.
These are the Fuel Masters. Every time they're on the court, it's high performance. Every time I'm on the road, I can also expect high performance from Phoenix Fuels. We made it! The next generation Phoenix Fuels, now with Pulse technology, delivers enhanced power and acceleration to make every trip come alive.
I'm gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too.
So, why are you back?
I didn't want to miss you.
Welcome back to Business and Leisure, and you're still on our business section. And what we have next is our feature on Strictly Business. On our segment Strictly Business, we welcome you to another date with an entrepreneur who will share her journey while building her own business. You will soon meet our mompreneur who successfully divides her time between family and business.
The Sopranos is a unique name for the business that Mary Pilares has chosen for her brand. Mary makes natural soap and she has successfully built this brand.
I'm a mother of, well, I used to say 3, but now it's 4 because I have a niece who lives with us. And I consider her as one of my daughters as well. Brief background about myself. Well, I'm a soap maker by profession. I also formulate lotions and cosmetics. But for cosmetics, I am still on the research part. But I already have a partner who is a friend. She's a makeup artist. And we have big plans for the cosmetic side of the business.
Mary finished a course in interior design, a bit too far from her chosen business. But Mary says she can apply the color theories and design on her formulated products.
Before the Sopranos, actually, I used to be based in New York. I was working in the hotel and restaurant industry. I was a sommelier, so I had to drink for my career. And when we came back to the Philippines, I have been wondering what I can do here. I used to think maybe start a restaurant as well, but the market is quite different from what I was used to when I was in New York. So I keep wondering, what can I do? So I've started like several small businesses and they're not working out. It's not what I want, it's not what I like, or the market is not yet there. And then when I had my 3rd child, I was on bed rest for a very long time.
This gave her enough time to think about going back to soap making, a hobby she enjoyed so much that she parlayed that hobby into a business. And how did she come about the name The Sopranos? Mary loves classical music and listened to a lot of Maria Callas, enjoying her arias while making her soaps.
I started thinking like, oh, why not call it The Sopranos? So that's how the name of The Sopranos was born.
Like many others who started out a small business, she first introduced her brand in a bazaar.
A bazaar that's organized by Ella Aguila of 35 Abada. She was the first who gave me a chance to bring the soap out into the market. And I was really happy that the product was well received. And then after that, I started getting more orders online and I started doing bazaars regularly every month. And I started getting more invitations from different bazaar organizers. I've tried doing it in BGC and Pasig.
A Soprano soap makes use of natural products, and Mary sticks to this.
One of the base products that I use almost on all my soap is cocoa butter. I met this wonderful couple, Ken and Shields of Cacao Culture. They introduced me to their product, which are cacao byproducts from Davao. They gave me a sample of the cocoa butter, and the quality is very good. I like it. So I started making soaps made with cocoa butter. One of my best sellers that I make out of the cocoa butter is the chocolate soap. I don't put any fragrance or any additives on the chocolate soaps, but they smell like real chocolates. And when people see it in bazaars, they're like, oh, I could eat this soap because it smells so good. But not just that, it's really good for the skin. And I'm able to help fellow micro-enterprise, and they also help cacao farmers in Davao.
Mary did not go into soap making blindly. She attended workshops both in the US and here at home.
From there, because of researching a lot, reading a lot on raw materials, the benefits of different kinds of oils, essential oils, I started formulating my own.
When it became a full-blown business, she also started researching her market. She gave away her soaps to family and friends and started getting feedbacks about how luxurious her soaps felt on the skin.
In the beginning, I was thinking the millennials because they have the buying power. But when I started selling, I could see that the trend is I am getting more of the moms who are buying my soaps. Well, because I'm soaper mom. So I started formulating more natural products. I started creating products that's good for babies and children and pregnant women. So I think that's my target market now.
And of course, like all other businesses, especially a venture that is new, Mary had to struggle with many uncertainties. She did not know how the market would accept her products, and she did not have a clue on how to price her soaps.
I don't have an accountant who can help me out with the finance side. So doing costing was a little bit of a challenge. Sourcing materials as well is a bit of a challenge. And of course, I have to do investments on the materials that I have to use for making soaps. So that's quite a challenge because I felt like in the beginning like money is just going out and not as much coming in. So I was like, okay, why am I doing this? Am I on the right track? Am I earning something from this? So it was very challenging at first.
Now Mary has different suppliers who she can count on.
For fragrance, I go to Bernadette Lim of PC Fragrance. She supplies my fragrance needs. And then there are some fellow soap makers who supply products as well. I source from Miss Lee Strachan of the Organic Artisan Lab. And some of my oils I get from the supermarket and some direct from the producer.
Every day, whether she has an order or not, Mary produces her daily quota of soaps to make sure that she has some on stock for past orders.
I remember last December, I thought I produced more than enough soap because from September until November, I was producing soap non-stop. And I was like, wow, I have so many soaps already. So I stopped thinking that it would be enough for Christmas. But then when we had the Christmas Bazaar, I was surprised that all the soaps sold out, that I had to make hot processed soap so that I can give some for my family as a gift for Christmas.
Now that she is slowly building up her brand, Mary says that there are still continuing challenges.
Continuous challenges in having this business. I guess these days, the trend keeps changing and you have to follow it if you want the people to keep following your products as well. So I always have to come up with something new. And also sometimes the materials will suddenly change price and I don't want to change the way I price my products because my market is already used to how much I sell my products. So if I suddenly change then they will wonder why is it that way. So those are just some of the few challenges that I still face these days.
All her soaps sell for 150 pesos a bar, but the sizes vary.
That's why people are asking me. They're all 150, but some are thicker and some are smaller. And I tell them, like, the smaller bars that you have are made with pure extra virgin olive oil. So you can just expect why I price it that way.
She is now focusing on big clients like this hotel that is soon opening. The hotel has commissioned her to produce the soaps that they will use. She is keeping herself really busy as she prepares for the cosmetic side of her business.
This morning, I was just talking with my friend Hazel, who's my partner for the cosmetic side of the business. So I'm focusing on that as well because we are really excited to bring the products out into the market.
Mary says she carefully checks the expiration dates of the materials she uses.
When you use expired soaps, it can be harsh on the skin. It can be bad on the skin because pwedeng magkaroon na siya ng mga bacterial and yeast growth. So, you're rubbing it technically on your skin. Kahit na wash off siya, I'm sure may matitira pa rin.
She also makes sure she suits up for safety by using goggles and gloves.
So now that the cocoa powder is incorporated with our oil, I slowly add the lye water. And then I'll start pulsating the stick blender. I have reached yung between light to medium trace. This is the time when I add the honey. Honey gives that extra luxurious feel. It's good on the skin. It's a natural antibacterial. It's also a good moisturizer. And then I'll just blend it again for a little bit.
She also works with silk cocoons, which she dissolves in lye water to give her soap that silky feeling. Now the mixture is ready to be poured into the mold.
Para talaga siyang cake. And it also smells like cake. Maybe because of my love for food. Kaya most of my soap looks like they're good enough to eat.
In this mold, she can cut 12 bars, which she sells at 150 pesos each. Now, Mary also gives her own workshops, which start at 5,000 pesos, while she continues producing her soaps at home. The process is tedious, and curing time for the soap is at least a month. So, the ordering process takes about 6 weeks. Some clients, though, especially those who want to give away the soaps as wedding souvenirs, cannot wait that long. For these instant orders, Mary says she has to go through the hot process where the soap is cooked for 2 hours and is ready to be released without undergoing the curing process. Mary has this simple piece of advice to other budding entrepreneurs, especially busy moms like her.
To the other moms who want to start their own business, just keep dreaming and use your imagination because you never know what can be done and you have to believe in yourself that it's something that you can do.
And if you want to check out her various soaps, here's Mary's personal invite.
You can check out the Sopranos. We're usually in UP Town Center in Katipunan. And you can find us on the weekend markets either at 24/7 Lane or at 35 Abada Bazaar. We are usually there from Fridays until Sundays. And you can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. It's The Sopranos. It's on Instagram, it's THE_ and then Sopranos, as in soap.
That was the Sopranos, our featured business venture this week, and Mrs. Mary Pilares, our mompreneur on Strictly Business. The leisure portion of Business and Leisure is coming up next with our co-host Sunshine Girl Damon Sayak, dishing out the latest lifestyle trends. Please stay with us.
Rediscover an extraordinary world as it unfolds before your eyes with the all-new 7-seater diesel CR-V. See the extraordinary.
Think you're tough? Do you dare to go off-road or off-key? Do you use your great power with great control? With the new Isuzu D-Max, you're tough enough to be unstoppable. And you're tough enough to be right back. Isuzu D-Max, tough enough for anything.
Calling all automobile enthusiasts. Autofocus.com.ph is exclusive to the automobile, where you'll find reviews on the latest brand new car models, together with their head-to-head comparisons. It has the detailed specs of car models available in the country and their latest SRPs and special promos, together with the latest auto industry news and developments like car launches and test drives. Autofocus.com.ph is all about automobiles. Click on.
Welcome back to Business and Leisure. And it's now time for our lifestyle section as we call on our co-host this week, Day Munsayak.
Thanks, Butch. Hello, guys. Those are the hottest issues on business. And it's now time to relax as I dish out the best on lifestyle this week. Are you guys ready? Well, let's start right away with Lifestyle Chronicles.
JCI Manila recently held a press launch for its upcoming Run for the Mountains 2018 at the Seascape Village in Pasay City. Runners of all ages will have a fulfilling and invigorating time at this year's Run for the Mountains charity run, which is slated June 24, 2018 at the Seascape Village in Pasay City, and a simultaneous run at SM City, Iloilo. Run for the Mountains is a unique, fun run that aims to raise awareness and financial support for the indigenous peoples group of the Philippines and Smoky Mountain Kids. Not your typical foot race, this year's Run for the Mountains showcases an experiential race course that will enable leisure, amateur, and professional runners to experience firsthand how our indigenous people hunt, cook, and go about their day-to-day activities while covering a distance of 3 kilometers, 5 kilometers, or 10 kilometers. This novel fundraising activity is organized by JCI Manila, the premier leadership development organization for young leaders.
So we're here today to spread awareness and advocacy for our charity fun run called Run for the Mountains. It's for the benefit of our indigenous cultures of the Philippines, namely Mangyan, Etas, Dumagats, and Igorots. So proceeds will benefit infrastructure and livelihood programs for our dwindling native cultures, as well as kids from Smoky Mountain, and housing projects for our indigenous populations in Iloilo as well. So the event is going to be on June 24 in Mazu Seascape, Pasay City. There's going to be 3, 5, and 10 kilometer races. You can register on Garmin stores and Apartment 8 stores, as well as online. You can just look us up at Facebook, Run for the Mountains. So we are planning to have this as a legacy project. It takes 3 consecutive years to cement a legacy project. We had great reception last year. We did it in McKinley, and hopefully we can do it bigger this year in Macapagal. So bigger and better every year, and it's going to be eventually national, and who knows, maybe international.
Oh Home, the newest brand of home and kitchen products launched recently by Multimac International Incorporated, redefines the standard of home appliances by combining quality build and design while providing multiple features and functions that also uphold the consumer's overall well-being. Following the footsteps of its mother company, Multimac, Oh Home is committed to finding a solution to every modern Filipino family's needs for products that support a lifestyle anchored on health and wellness. Ohome's initial line of products consists of Hydrogen Plus, Hydrogen Water Generator, the Zen 4-in-1 Air Purifier, and the O-Range 360 Exhaust Integrated Gas Range. These products were designed and created by Ohome specifically for the Philippine market, utilizing technology and parts from Japan and Italy.
The event today purpose is to launch Ohome brand in the Philippines. We have 3 products currently. First product is our O-Range 360 integrated exhaust, and the second product is our Zen 4-in-1 air purifier, and the third is our hydrogen generator. So this is how your kitchen would normally look like. So smoke coming out of what you're cooking. So with this one, just turn on. Our ranges has a built-in integrated exhaust. See, integrated exhaust hood ranges, and it has the option of either getting a UV sterilizer cabinet, heated cabinet, or steam oven. Our second product is our 4-in-1 air purifier. Now, the first function is that it has a nano filter, that HEPA filter, PM 2.5. Second feature is it has a scent diffuser, therapeutic scent diffuser. Third is it has a mood lamp. It has 16 shades of color that you can choose from. You can even change the intensity. And our third product is our Ohome Hydrogen Plus generator. So what it does is it creates hydrogen on your water that helps, gives you the antioxidant, gives you an ample amount of antioxidant to your body. Our Ohome showroom is located in 1012 Bunga Building in Metropolitan Avenue, Makati City. And we are available in Rustan's and soon to be SM Appliance. And for you to experience our healthy home innovations.
More exclusive events coming your way only here on Lifestyle Chronicles. The upcoming feature on Places is something that many of us will find most interesting. It is uniquely Japanese, and it also takes us on a discovery trip to something that is actually taking the world by storm.
Nomi is Japanese for drink, and this cafe, Nomi Matcha, specializes and focuses really well on matcha. It is owned and run by 3 young Japanese entrepreneurs who relocated to Manila to open Nomi.
My name is Takefumi Hosomi. I come from Tokyo, Japan, but my family is from Kyoto and Osaka. And my inspiration of the matcha is because my family, we're in the art business and we do business with the matcha families in Japan. So we have the opportunity to source some of the best matchas from Japan and bring it straight to the Philippines.
I'm Asuka Hosokawa. I am half Filipino-Japanese, but I was born in Japan and I recently moved here last year for Nomi.
Hi, my name is Michael.
Before embarking on Nomi, Michael spent 7 years working for Google, while Asuka used to work for the US Embassy before Nomi. Take is the one who has the most extensive experience with matcha because of their family business.
Our inspiration came because living in Japan for the past 5 years, we really felt the boom of matcha. Not only in Japan, but on a global scale, matcha has been a huge boom. And when you're walking around even in Tokyo or Kyoto, Osaka, there is several matcha cafes and matcha establishments. So that's where kind of the inspiration came. And we wanted to kind of influence people here in the Philippines of what matcha is and the health benefits of matcha.
Ultimately, the reason that we decided to open Nomi is that we wanted to do something that we were passionate about. I think that if we can make something that we genuinely love, then other people will love it as well. So when we opened Nomi, we wanted to show what are the trendy food that we see in Japan, and bring all the trendy food that fruits, the trendy food, the trendy snacks and drinks that we have in Japan, and bring it here to the Philippines.
Matcha is actually familiar to us as an ice cream flavor or as a milk tea, but the fact is we do not know much about it.
Yes, matcha is actually the rarest form of green tea. It's one of the most potent antioxidants in the world right now. The reason why it's so potent is how matcha is harvested. The harvesting process is very different to other types of green tea. How it's different is the matcha plant, it's actually grown under the shade. So you don't have any direct sunlight hitting the plant. So without any sunlight hitting the plant works extra hard. The enzymes in the plant, it works twice, 3, 4 times as hard because it doesn't get any sunlight. So the amount of nutrients, the vitamins, and even the fiber that contains in one plant is very potent. And also the process is very different for matcha. We grind up the whole plant and consume the whole plant, while as other form of green teas, we have it in the tea bag and then you put hot water in it. So you're not really consuming the whole plant. So that is the difference between matcha and other forms of green tea.
The three friends were dead sure that they wanted to open a business that had to do with matcha. They checked out Bangkok, Singapore, Taipei, and even Hawaii, but decided to set up camp here in the Philippines. They chose BGC because they are targeting the millennials, the expats, and the considerably large Japanese community in BGC.
We found a community that we connected with who are matcha lovers who really enjoy Japanese food, so then we decided to settle down here. Our target market are people who are hungry, but we say not just hungry for food, we're targeting people who are hungry for more out of life, for success, for love, for passion. We want to showcase that our food, our environment is aimed to inspire and empower people, whether it is the office workers we have around us who need a good lunch to refuel the day, or an athlete who's working out at the park and want a powerful post-workout meal. We want to empower all of those people.
They have only been open a month and a half, but business has really picked up.
In terms of the business, it's doing really well. Again, we just started a month and a half ago, so there's a lot of improvements and adjustments we still need to make.
What makes Nomi different from other restaurants here is that we try to give them the good experience when they come here. We give them the good vibe and the good experience, but most importantly, our food is not just Instagrammable and cute, but it's also very delicious.
We're very happy and very relieved to see how many customers who come in here really come in here to try the authentic matcha. We really never expected this many people in the Philippines to really have such strong interest in what matcha is and what matcha tastes like. So since opening our business a month and a half ago, it's been very good, and for us and all the partners, we're very happy that people are actually appreciating and enjoying what this matcha really is from Japan.
Because this is an authentic matcha cafe like what you can find in most of the major cities in Japan, the owners gladly demonstrated how a traditional matcha tea ceremony goes.
So today we're going to show you the very traditional way that Japanese prepare matcha, the matcha tea pouring ceremonies. But here at Nomi, we have both the traditional way as well as the new age, modern, trendy way. However, Take is well trained in the very traditional matcha tea pouring ceremony, so he will teach us how that goes today.
First, Take shows us his tools, the chaisen or whisk, and this Japanese small spoon to scoop out the matcha tea.
So now I'm going to prepare how a traditional matcha ceremony is conducted back in Japan. And this is a little snack, a complimentary snack that customers would usually eat before they taste the matcha. Because matcha is very, very bitter. So before you taste the bitter matcha, you have to eat something sweet to change your palate. The color is very bright. When you have a ceremonial grade matcha like this, which is grade A matcha, you can tell that even the color of the green is very enhanced and it's very bright. When you see more of a lime color, more lime color green, that shows that the grade of the matcha is lower.
After adding 2 full spoons of matcha, hot water is poured into the bowl. Then it is whisked slowly in a circular motion before a more brisk motion.
Make sure all the small particles are diluted inside. And once that's ready, we're going to give it a whisk. And then as you can see, you start to see some of the bubbles coming out.
Then it's back to the circular motion to bring out the full flavor of the matcha tea. Asuka will take the tea, but she needs to take a sweet snack first before taking the bitter matcha tea.
So this snack as well, actually, the filling inside is also matcha flavor. Yes.
Meanwhile, Take needs to turn the bowl of matcha 3 times before handing it over to Asuka, who, as tradition dictates, needs to finish the bowl of tea in 3 sips.
I have it turn it again, twice, before I take a sip. Before I give it back to the person who gave it to me, I have to.
She rotates the bowl 3 times again and hands it back to her host.
And guys, that's how a traditional matcha tea ceremony is done. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Japanese are a largely traditional people, and it is interesting to know how a simple undertaking like sharing tea can be turned into a formal ceremony. But that is part of the culture they are bringing with them to Nomi, where the old and new fuse together to make an interesting cafe destination. Now here are the much-loved Japanese dishes that are being served here at Nomi.
Here we have some of the examples that we serve here at Nomi. We have a difference of traditional classic Japanese dishes as well as non-traditional dishes. My personal favorite is our selection of power bowls. Our power bowls feature different types of protein: chicken, beef, salmon, whatever type of protein that you want to choose, mixed with healthy vegetables and a wholesome grain. So quinoa, cauliflower rice, or normal Japanese rice, or brown rice. These are a great way for athletes to recover after a hard workout, and it's a great way to eat healthy for those who are more health conscious. And it's very affordable as well. This chicken power bowl only costs 290 pesos.
I'm gonna give a brief description of some of the classics. We'll start off with my personal favorite, which is the gyudon. What gyudon, for those who don't know what gyudon is that it's actually one of the most popular quick rice meal dish in Japan. As some of you may know, like Yoshinoya and Matsuya, those are kind of the big gyudon brands. So we try to make our taste as similar and as close as eating it back home in Japan. So the gyudon is basically steamed Japanese rice, and it's topped with thinly sliced beef with onion. And we marinate it with our special dashi, which is mixed with some soy and mirin. And traditionally, we don't usually put half the cooked egg on the gyudon. However, the reason why we wanted to do that is because the balance when you kind of break the egg and the yolk coming out and how it's mixed in with the sauce of the beef, it's like a perfect combination. So this is one of our best sellers, gyudon. Next, I'd like to go to the ebi katsu curry. As you know, Japanese curry is also a very quick rice meal, a very popular quick rice meal in Japan, very popular. The reason why we wanted to introduce this ebi katsu curry is it's very important how it's different to other types of curry. The difference mainly is actually the breadcrumbs, as you see on the shrimp. When you have Japanese like pork katsu or ebi katsu or all these different kind of katsus, what's special about it is how attached the breadcrumbs are to the meat. So for here, you see how closely the breadcrumbs are attached to the shrimp. When you try other kind of breadcrumbs in, I guess, different dishes, it's so easy for the breadcrumbs to kind of fall apart. So as you can see here, the whole point of the ebi katsu curry is to really get the breadcrumbs attached to the shrimp, and you really enjoy it with some of the carrot and potato and the curry with the shrimp. Yes. Next this is our karagedon, which is more of our kind of our playful kind of dish that we created. Karages, of course, are traditional chicken, fried chicken in Japan. But we wanted to integrate it with our homemade potato chips that we make every day at Nomi here, and then with some mixed salad. It's a perfect combination of some chicken, a little crispy potato chips, and some salad. The topping here is we use Japanese Kewpie mayo, and we use shichimi, which is 7 different kinds of Japanese spice on top of the chicken karage. So for those who love fried chicken, please try the karage. Next, as you guys probably all recognize, this is a very classic, I guess, global standard breakfast dish. It's the salmon Benedict. Here we also make our hollandaise sauce fresh at Nomi. We have 2 poached eggs on top of the fresh smoked salmon, and we also here, different to kind of the classic smoked salmon Benedict, we actually put a sprinkle of the shichimi as well, which is the 7 different kinds of Japanese spice, to add a little bit of that flavor with the salmon.
And there you go, a full table of Japanese favorites, a feast for a family or a group. And here's Asuka to tell you more about their desserts.
What we offer here in the Philippines, Nomi Philippines, is that we brought the most trendiest and the most unique desserts that we can find in Tokyo cafes. For example, like the matcha version of tiramisu, we put it in a masu. Masu is like a cup that we use for the sake when we drink sake, but we think it's kind of cute to put the dessert in it, and people actually appreciate it. And maybe another example would be like the frozen s'more. It's a matcha ice cream on the inside, and it's like coated with the frozen s'more on the outside. We also torch it in front of the customer, so we give them that experience that they, like some people hasn't been in Japan yet. So like doing that, they get the experience that we get in Japan.
What we're really proud about with our food is that we really take in what is popular and trendy in Japan and brought it over here to the Philippines. And for each of our food, we have taste tested these and modernized an ancient way, the traditional way of Japanese food, and added a modern twist to it so that it is popular amongst millennials and people nowadays. So here we have some of the dessert we have in Nomi. We have the frozen marshmallow s'mores as well as the matcha tiramisu. For the frozen marshmallow s'mores, we would torch the s'mores on the outside, and we have grade A matcha on the inside. So here we go.
So here at Nomi, we try to bring the most trendiest and unique desserts that we can find in Japan. This is one of my personal favorites.
Next is their version of the popular tiramisu.
We sprinkle our matcha powder on top, and the inside, when you scoop it with the spoon, there's a creamy texture to it. So when you take your first bite, you have enough of that matcha powder on top, but the bottom layers are filled with cream. Now, what's unique about this dish is not apart from the matcha tiramisu. What's special is the presentation. We use a Japanese thing called masu, and this masu is actually used in Japan to drink sake. And this is a special wood they use, where you can also use it for food and for alcohol or for liquid.
That rounds up a really full meal, complete with dessert. Nomi is all of 159 square meters, and the dining room can comfortably seat 150. They also host events in the cafe.
It's actually this Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. we actually have a matcha event. So there's a big group called Matcha Philippines. It's a community for, I guess, people who love matcha here, and we're having an event with those people here at Nomi on Sunday, where we talk about what the health benefits of matcha is. I'm gonna maybe do some authentic traditional matcha tea ceremony to show them how to make the matcha. So we also host a lot of those healthy empowerment events. So we host different events, but again, we just started, so we're still, getting everything together, yes.
So I think for our viewers, if you're interested if you would like a place where you can try the food, the trendy Japanese food, desserts and drinks that's very inspiring, that's very captivating, definitely come to Nomi. I think it's a great experience. It's a great place to work. It's a great place to hang out with your friends. It's a great place to eat, and I definitely encourage everyone to come check it out.
So why not heed their invitation and join Asuka, Michael, and Take as they bring you on an unforgettable matcha experience.
That was Nomi, Matcha, and Akai, our feature this week on Places. Our segment dedicated to all the firearm enthusiasts is coming up next, right after this short break.
Rediscover an extraordinary world as it unfolds before your eyes. With the all-new 7-seater diesel CR-V. See the extraordinary.
Think you're tough? Do you dare to go off-road or off-key? Do you use your great power with great control? With the new Isuzu D-Max, you're tough enough to be unstoppable. And you're tough enough to be right back. Isuzu D-Max, tough enough for anything.
When you sweat to be sweet and you clean car seat, it's love. When you try to look cool, but you look like a fool, it's love. It's love. It's love.
Show your love with the new features of the all-new Innova. Love the journey.
These are the Fuel Masters. Every time they're on the court, it's high performance. Every time I'm on the road, I can also expect high performance from Phoenix Fuels. We made it! The next generation Phoenix Fuels, now with Pulse technology, delivers enhanced power and acceleration to make every trip come alive.
Welcome back, and yes, you're still with me, Day, here on Business and Leisure. Here now is Sports Shoot.
Sports Shoot is brought to you by Rock Island Armory, manufactured by Armscore Global Defense Incorporated.
Welcome to Sports Shoot, Business and Leisure segment for the gun enthusiast. This week, our featured handgun is the Kimber Micro 9 two-tone and 9mm chambered 1911 style pistol that is just the right size for easy carrying. It is a hammer-fired semi-automatic pistol with a capacity of 6+1. The barrel is 3.15 inches long and 1.06 inches wide. Its height is 4.07 inches and it weighs 15.6 ounces. The Kimber Micro 9 is finished with an aluminum frame and steel matte black slide. It has fixed low-profile sights and has a grip of rosewood color. The trigger was tested at 7 pounds for single action. In the US, it retails for $650. On the range, experts found the Micro 9 small enough for pocket carry. The single-action trigger was also smooth and clean and actually felt lighter than 7 pounds because of the short sliding trigger that is the hallmark of the 1911. At 25 yards, the average group was about 4.5 inches. Other pistols clearly outperformed this pistol in accuracy, but for its size and with a short barrel of 3.15 inches, gun experts found it not too bad for a miniaturized 1911. This is because pistols of this size are manufactured for distances not exceeding 7 yards, where they are most accurate. Overall, the Kimber Micro 9 is an excellent pistol with its ease of carry, shootability, and its 9mm chambering. That was the Kimber Micro 9, our featured handgun for this week's Sports Shoot. And that's Sports Shoot this week, Business and Leisure segment for the gun enthusiasts.
Sports Shoot is brought to you by Rock Island Armory, manufactured by Armscore Global Defense Incorporated.
Another reason for you to head on to the nearest shooting range and try that firearm. Well, another edition has come to an end, but don't fret, as I'll surely be back next week for another exciting feature on the lifestyle section of Business and Leisure. See y'all again. This has been Day, and now back to our main man, Mr. Ray Butch Gamboa. Butch.
Thanks, Dave, for this week's Leisure Report. And with that, we end another episode of Business and Leisure. Thank you for staying with us. Also, don't forget to follow us in our social media accounts. Till the next time, this has been your host, Ray Butch Gamboa. Good business to all and enjoy the good life.